Yes gang, what is going on? So as part of my new venture into the world of skinhead life, I'm testing today the Philips OneBlade. I'm going to be trying it out and letting you guys know what I think of it. It comes as part of a kit and it's got several stubble guards, and I have actually used it on my beard. Currently I'm using the zero guard on either my head clippers, which plug into the mains, or using my beard trimmer, which is portable, but it is getting a bit old, so I'm looking at something new that I can use at home, or I can take it with me if I'm traveling, throw it in my toiletry bag without having to take a bulky mains adapted hair clippers. At the minute, this is about 6 days growth. My sides are quite dark, still quite a lot of hair, but it becomes really noticeable. 6 days ago I shaved this on a zero guard using the mains clippers, and it is definitely due a trim. So I prefer the safety of having a either beard clipper or conventional clipper, so that I'm not going to cut myself, especially as I'm learning the shape of my head and the intricacies of bits, especially around this back. Because personally I feel that as soon as you get to wet shaving, then you're committed to that for life. Also, I think there's quite a lot of waste with a conventional cartridge razor, so personally I don't want to get to that stage just yet, and I quite like a buzz cut. So keeping that buzz cut going for as long as possible, so trying out different alternatives and see what works best for me. In a previous video, I go into why I've started shaving my head, so if that is something you're interested, I will link that below for you to check it out. If you've come from that video, thank you very much. Let's get on with the review. There it is. I really like it. I think this is probably as close as you can get without having to use a razor, and I think for that factor it's super safe, super smooth. I did struggle a little bit, you might see on the footage. I was having to go with the grain. I think my hair was too long, so I was having to go with the grain and then go back against it. I think that could be resolved if you cut your hair slightly more often. As I say, when I keep a shaved head, I don't tend to wait that long in between shaves, but you know, time and busy with other things. Super close shave, and especially for me who's got more hair, slightly more hair on the sides than down the centre, I think going this short just makes it all blur into one. Look like Hitman. And it cut so fine, it was almost like black dust coming off at the end. It was, to be honest, a fantastic shave. Cons. Now, I would say that it's suggested that it will last up to 4 months, but I don't think it will last that long. I did shave my head a few years ago, and I was using a OneBlade back then, and I found that it would last about 3 or 4 shaves, and I potentially had a bit more hair than I have now, but not by a lot. So about the 4th shave it was getting actually a little bit uncomfortable. It was sort of pulling at the hair rather than cutting it, so that is something to be mindful of. That leads me on to a second point pertaining to that, in that I think there'll be a lot of plastic waste. It's a lovely piece of kit. The handle feels very good to use, but I think the actual blades themselves will end up being a consumable part, which is understandable, but for me, I think there is an environmental impact that we have to think about as well. The head of the razor is quite small, so I was finding I was having to do numerous passes. I think I do prefer the mains powered clippers, whether it's they're more powerful or I seem to just understand those a bit better, so I can whip through my hair a lot faster. These seem to take a lot longer. However, I'm sure you would get used to that or learn how to use them a bit more efficiently than perhaps I did. Blades are quite expensive. I can't remember exactly how much they are. 27 quid for 3 or 11.99 for 1. I don't know if you can get them cheaper elsewhere. That's just literally the first thing I saw. But considering you can buy the one blade itself for about £25, does seem expensive. Ultimately, it's down to you, isn't it? I really like the finish. I think for how tight it cuts, I think it's fantastic. But there is that sort of knock-on effect. So I will continue using this and see how I get on. I don't know whether you guys in the comments can let me know whether you've tried one or whether you can recommend something else which will potentially be better. I know in the past when I've been to the barber and they've used one of those foil shavers that my skin doesn't like that. I seem to get quite a lot of irritation, so that's not something I wish to use, but maybe some finer clippers. I think you can get some wall balding clippers which I think will be really good, so it's mains power and the capacity for you to use a more powerful shaver, so potentially less irritation, less passes over the skin. Hopefully that has been helpful. Thank you for sticking around. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me and this type of content that I'm creating. I like to create things that you guys want to watch. Feel free to check out some of my other videos as well. I enjoy fitness, I enjoy adventure, so there's plenty of diversity on my platform, and please feel free to let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in the future. Hope you're staying safe and well, and peace.